Hello, and we would like to welcome you to another edition of the Living Strong Television Network broadcast, where I'm once again your guest speaker, Prophet Scotty Lee Johnson. On the behalf of the Whosoever Will Outreach Ministry, we're coming to you live each and every night at 8 o'clock p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Whosoever Will Outreach Ministry, Monday through Friday, and also on Sunday from 6 to 6:30 p.m. under the leadership of none other than Pastor Josie M. Bostic, along with Dr. Earl Bostic Sr., D.M.D. I'd like to say to each and every one of you that are watching Living Strong on today that I wish you a happy Father's Day, and I thank God for you being around to view this message and to watch the powerful word that is getting ready to take place right now. And this word is so very important. I want you to call a friend and call a neighbor and let them know that Living Strong is on. And when Living Strong is on, you can't go wrong when you live strong. Also, you know that the fast is 30 minutes and broadcast. It is coming your way right now. And the topic of this message today, I believe, is going to set every single man and every single father out there free that's watching this telecast. Happy Father's Day to you, and happy Father's Day to each and every one of you. Come on, clap your hand and tell God thank you. We're coming out of the book of John, chapter number 11, and we're going to look at a very powerful verse that's based upon what happened in the life of Jesus that moved him at such a time when nothing else could shake him, because there was so much that was taking place even in the midst of something based upon life and death. Each and every Father's Day, we deal with what's called the absence of fathers. And also we will deal with what's called the negligence of fathers. But in the midst of what we're having to deal with and what we're having to go through, there is a word that God has given for each and every father that is in this world today and that's watching Living Strong. And what he's trying to tell you is that there was something based upon the sacrifice of what it took to get from point A to point B. As I so often say, some people are in it only for the minute, but you've got to be in it to win it. So we're going to look in the book of John, chapter number 11, and we're going to look at verse number 35, which is a very powerful verse. And this is going to be our only focus verse, which declares Jesus wept. Now, that's the scripture. That is John 11 and 35. Jesus wept. Now, we've got to look at the reason why did he weep? And for what reason was he crying? Because there was something that happened that had to move him. And if there's nothing in your life that can move you to tears, you've got to understand the tears of a dead man. So if I could use for a topic this Father's Day, I would like to talk about the tears of a dead man. Because it wasn't really Jesus that was crying, it was Lazarus that was crying. And what Jesus did was heard the cry of Lazarus because he loved Lazarus. But what they did not know was what Lazarus had to go through before he died and before Jesus cried. So in the midst of Jesus weeping, there was something on the inside of him that allowed him to know that there was no greater love than a love for a man to lay down his life for a friend. And so what happened is that they had told him that Lazarus was dead. But Jesus had to process the time. And while he was processing the time, he had to step outside of himself and become the nature of man. Even though he was very much God, he was still very much man. And because of his love for Lazarus, he made up his mind that I'm going to delay your resurrection. I'm going to show up after I finish going through my pain. The tears of a dead man says that when you've been through so much in life and there's nothing else left to live for except for the Lord himself, because everything else is fabricated, everything else is perpetrated, and folks, hallelujah, that think that you are dead don't understand that you're only dead to them. Oh, preach it, prophet. But the tears of a dead man cries out from the grave. And this tear is not like any other tear. And the reason why is because God unfolds it in the essence of who he is. So in order for Jesus to understand what Lazarus was going through, he had to feel his pain. So if they cannot feel your pain, they cannot understand your gain nor your relationship. So in the midst of seeing life, we understand that there's something that happens from time to time that pushes people to a point of death. And the Bible says to live is Christ and to die is gain. So in dying, there is a gaining in life. But the tears of a dead man deals with the fact that on Father's Day, there's a lot of folks that are existing and they're not living. There's a lot of fathers right now that are out trying to find out who they are and where they're going and figure out where they came from and asking God, how many times can I go through the same relationship? Can I go through the same setbacks? And how many times can I deal with the same old spirits that have tried to destroy me for the rest of my life? They're looking for the old Lazarus, but they don't know he's dead. But the new Lazarus is on the scene, and his name is Jesus Christ. He's about to resurrect the old Lazarus and give life to the new Lazarus. Oh, preach it, prophet. So I'll talk to y'all if y'all act like y'all want me to talk to you. But I don't think you want nothing. Oh, bless his name. I'll keep talking to y'all. So in the midst of this, the Father allows life to take its course. So when a man has been through so much pain and he's been rejected and everything from his past that looked for him to be the same old way took him when he was old. When you was in that stage, they came and they robbed you. They came and they played you. They came and they took you for granted. Because that was the old you. And that was the you that was alive. But they didn't know that while you were serving them, they were killing you. Oh, can I talk to you? Oh, God. And so therefore, the Lord began to let me know that in the midst of everything that has happened in your life, that I had to kill you in order to live you. Because you could not live except you first died first. But there was something about dying that was about to be resurrected. And they was going to be looking for the one they killed. But the one they killed was the man that was carrying dead man tears. And God is saying now, I'm going to show up at a time when they think not. And I'm going to say, Lazarus, prophet, come forth. Which means I'm going to call you out of your grave. I'm going to call you from your tears. And I'm going to call you from every assignment that the witch and the warlock placed on your ministry to try to destroy your family, to try to destroy your generation, to try to destroy your life. And I'm going to put a charge on everything in the past that tried to kill your future. And when I call you this time, you won't settle for the games that they're playing. They get mad if you do small things. They didn't want you in my will. As long as you could preach to them, as long as you could prophesy to them, as long as you was dead to them while they was living, they couldn't see your tears. But they didn't know that I resurrection for a dead man. And I said that what I'm going to do is that I'm going to call him forth, and I'm going to bring him forth. He said the enemy got nets spread all around, and they've taken the words of a dead man, and they killed him in the streets. They cut out his heart, and they threw it to the lions. The dogs came to church while they was in heat to visit a dead man. But God had another word. He said the same man you killed is the same man that gave you life. And he said the same one that you tried to take out is the same one I'm calling back. So in the midst of it all, you'll see that I shouldn't have to say what I'm about to say. Flash. Don't understand you. So at this time, we must see the essence of what God is doing in the life of every individual. Because in the Garden of Gethsemane, I think we should turn there, but I don't have time. So we're going to talk about it. I'll tell you the story. When he was getting ready to go to his grave, he had to first go through his betrayal. He had to have someone with him that would betray his death. And that was called Judas. So the spirit of Judas, he comes in. His primary focus is to betray you with a kiss. He is going to love you to the desire of your defeat. And he's going to kiss you with the kiss of a lie. The tears of a dead man says that I love you enough to let you walk with me and kill me. But you don't understand that what you're about to do is make a big mistake. Because you were born for this reason. You was born to walk with me, Judas, and then die and go to hell. And when it's all said and done, you are not going to take my life. I'm going to lay it down. Can I talk about it? But before I do, I've got what's called a Father's Day. That's today. That means that my Father's Day is going to come. And then I'm going to have a resurrection. But before I do, I'm going to get in the presence of my Father. And I'm going to pray like you ain't never prayed before. The Bible declares that when he prayed, that sweat fell from his body as great drops of blood. Inside of that blood and inside of that sweat was every single tear of a dead man. Even though he was alive, he was dead. But he knew that you cannot kill a dead man once he has shedded the tears of a dead man. Preach it, prophet. Talk to me. Turn me away into the wind. Because Jesus, after his prayer in the Garden of Gethsemane, he didn't cry no more. Y'all don't hear me. I'm going to leave you right there. And the reason why he didn't cry no more is because he had cried the last tear. And it was the tear of a dead man. But his father was watching. And his father said, I remember a man that you cried for, that you loved so much. They took him and they put him in the grave. And they wrapped him in grave clothes. They left him for dead. But before you cried to me, you cried for him first. And the same man that you cried for is the same man that I used to kill you. I used Lazarus to kill you, and I used Judas. I used what loved you to kill you, and I used what hates you to kill you. Preach, prophet. Lazarus loved you, but your tears for him was to the death of yourself. Judas hated you, but your tears for him was for his destiny. I cry because of the fact that they are not tears of a live man, it's a walking dead man. And the same one that they killed, that's the same one God gonna resurrect. Right when you think they done counted you out, God is getting ready to say, Lazarus, come forth. I don't know what your name is. The remnant don't want it. Scratch the surface. We still play church. Might as well empty the cabinet and just bring in just the camera. Bye. And the reason why is because after the resurrection, something's got to take place. What takes place after the resurrection? A life, but the life is to more than the one that killed him. The life is to the ones that would become the future of who he would speak to. The ones that killed him was only there temporary. But the future of the life was to be spread to all the earth. And so what God is doing, thing that he is taking, what meant you for harm, and he's turning it out for your good. Now, when Jesus was in that Garden of Gethsemane, he said, Lord, if it be, y'all understand, thy will, what I want you to do is take this cup that I've got to go through and remove it from me. I know how he must have felt, because if I would have known now what I knew then, I wouldn't have let them kill me up to now. But he said, nonetheless, not my will, because there's something that is greater than I and what I desire, and it's yours, which means you are my Father. Let your will be done. But then he did something else. He decided to go to the disciples. He said, hey guys, wake up. Watch with me. Can you not pray with me for 1 hour? They was following Jesus because he was anointed, because he had destiny. The same man that went and got fish out of the sea, the same man that walked on water, the same man that touched the beer and told the child, get up, the same man that was born in a manger. They followed him, but they was following him while they were sleeping, just like some of y'all. Boom, shakalaka. They slept on him because they could not discern his destiny. They played close to his husband or his father or his wife. Preach this, prophet. Can I talk about it? Can I go deep? Y'all ain't ready. Y'all playing. I'm talking to them. I'll find out where y'all are in about 10 minutes. It'll be called finish. They got and they played close to his wife. Mm-hmm. Because they could not get to him, they started messing with Jesus' wife. Well, prophet, I didn't know Jesus had a wife. You crazy. You're his wife, the church, the bride of Christ. Wake up. Come out of that place. Come out of there. And then when they started playing with his church, his chosen, the one that he was married to, he was married to Lazarus. Preach it. He was married to Abraham. He was married to Isaac. He was married to Rahab the harlot. He was married to Mary. He was married to every last one of us through birth and through blood and through sacrifice. And when he hung his head and said, it is finished, he knew that then he looked towards heaven and he said, Lama, Lama, Sabachthani. In other words, Eloi, Eloi, Lama, Sabachthani, my Father, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? In other words, his last cry was back to his Father. Oh, yes, I know that's right. His last cry was on Father's Day. Can I preach it? But Father's Father's Day had to come with a dark hour in which he had to hang from the 6th to the 9th hour. They hung him there after he had died, after he had cried, after they had lied, and after they had spied. They went to his past. They followed him there, but they did not care about his future. You got a whole lot of folks that are following you right now while you're on your way to your cross. God is trying to tell you that the tears of a dead man was when the son cried back to the Father. He said, Father, it is finished. This is your day. I'm going to give it up. I'm going to let it go. But when it's said and done, I'm going to commend my spirit into your hands. No man gave me life. I lay it down and I pick it up. But after this Father's Day, they ain't going to have to worry about the tears of a dead man, because you can't kill a dead man that's already walking in resurrection tears. The next set of tears you will see won't be because of pain, won't be because of rain. They gonna be because he said, Lazarus, Prophet, Arby, Kevin, Desmond, Alan, get up here. Kelly, Jonathan, oh, Wendell, come forth. God is saying, rise up, every man on Father's Day, and know that I've called you out of your grave. I done called you out of a bad situation. The enemy tried to steal my wife, tried to take what I was in love with, tried to take who I was in love with. They rejected me. They spit on me. They cut me. They made me bleed. But I was loving them out of hell while loving Judas to hell. I'm here to let you know that when it's all said and done, happy Father's Day. Resurrection is coming forth, and the tears of a dead man are bringing life. What is this tear of a dead man? It's the pain. That you go through as an individual that causes a triggering in the response. God is able to show you all that you've had, all that he's done. When you go back and you look at the picture of your past, and you see all the people that once was, and you look at how God blessed them all through Jesus Christ coming through you. Come on around, eh? He releases for you the evidence of a new performance picture. That picture, thank God, ties you and unties you to life like you've never seen before. And what he does is that he breaks through and he releases on your behalf and on my behalf. Now listen to me. Whenever transformation takes place, there's also going to be transition. There's going to be resistance. And once the enemy thinks he got every father chosen by God, this husbandman, this bride of Christ, beat down by pride, beat down by ignorance, beat down by egotistical ideas, beat down by the fact that they hate you more the more anointed you get. And they think that they have you in grave clothes. They think they got you wrapped up because there's nothing left. You're in a casket. Even as a father, you're a walking dead man. No matter how big your ministry is, no matter how small it is, the tears of a dead man declares that the Lord is about to say something. But what he's going to do is call your name, nobody else's. And he's going to say two words: come forth. They can give the depiction of Lazarus hopping out the grave clothes. And they can give the depiction of Lazarus, and I imagine Lazarus coming through and hopping on up, and the Lord said, Lazarus, come forth. And even as Lazarus began to come forth, I could imagine somebody grab the bandage and spin him around. Lord, whatever it was, they had to unwrap Lazarus. Let me tell you something. If he said, Lazarus, come forth, they said, unloose him, untie him, let him go. It don't matter whether he was wrapped up inside of a steel vault. The whole vault would have had to move. You know good and well, the same ones that wrap you up in clothes, God going to show you that eventually they'll have to unwrap you. In other words, they won't unwrap you simply because they're unwrapping you. They're going to unwrap you because they were the ones that killed you. And what he's going to do is have them to unwrap you by looking at how he done resurrected you. They ain't going to touch you. They just going to see that what they thought they killed you with, they only gave you more power. And so now, I want you to know that each and every time you log on to Living Strong, you're listening to one of the fastest, young, moving, growing, innovative television that's taking place. And many of you are saying, Prophet Johnson, keep up the good work. Give the testimonies. I hear the testimonies. And I'll tell you, I want you to know, I'm keeping your secrets, and we're not letting nobody know except God. And I'm keeping my mouth shut, and I'm thanking God that you that are watching Living Strong are listening supported, we're viewer supported, and you're listening to the Father's Day message, Tears of a Dead Man. We are going to be dealing with part 2 of this message at 6 p.m. today. Whosoever will outreach ministry from 6 to 6:30. I want to say again to you that are watching, I told you before, Bible declares, prepare for war and beat your pruning hooks into plowshares. Oh my God, I know that this Father's Day, for each and every one of you that are watching Living Strong, it's your time to see the greatest resurrection there was take place. Now, this, thank you, is individual. I got it. This is an individual thing. And when God moves you forward, don't forget, obey his will and do what he tells you to do. Hey, keep praying. And I want you to know that's going to be my time. And we're going to see you next time. Happy Father's Day to each and every one of you. And whatever you do, remember, keep watching and living strong. That's my time. Thank you for yours. Have a good day.